So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and today I'm going to be talking about a Eubank, and this time it's not Chris, it's Harlem Eubank. Now, for those that watched the event on the weekend in regards to Harlem Eubank, sorry, and Tyler McKenna, it was a fight which was a very good display from Harlem. Probably his best performance that I've watched so far. Um, but it's still difficult to see exactly where he is in terms of his place at the world level. Now, before I go deeper in terms of giving my opinion in regards to the fight on the weekend, I've got to give congratulations to where it's due to Harlem Eubank. It was a very good dominant performance, and for me personally, possibly his best performance that I've seen so far. And I've watched quite a few of his fights, but by far this was his best performance. He was very dominating, very aggressive at times, very sharp. His movement, his foot skills, and just the way that he was setting up his punches as well to catch Tyrone McKenna was phenomenal. Because Tyrone McKenna is quite big in terms of a fighter. He's got the height, he's got the limbs to keep his opponents at bay, and he has a very good jab at times, Tyrone McKenna, but he just didn't use it in this fight, and he just wasn't able to keep a younger man in terms of Harlem Eubank off him. Harlem was in his face. As I said, he was feinting, he was slicking, he was stepping to the side, he was using his angling movement at times as well, and his punches were very sharp. So yeah, he looks good at this weight. He looks fit. He looks confident. Sorry, and then whatever he's doing with Senior, because I know Senior's got a lot of influence on his career so far. So whatever he's doing with Senior and his trainer, it's working. Now, in terms of going forward, this is a difficult fight to suggest where I believe he should be in terms of world level, but it's a step in the right direction. And what I mean by that is that, especially in Britain, we have quite a lot of welterweights or potential good matchups that Harlem Eubank could be in, if you know what I mean. Some good domestic clashes out there. You've got people like Lewis Crocker, who he is coming off a win, which it was a very dubious win against Paddy Donovan. So again, he's got him to potentially go in there against. Sorry, he's got Michael McKinson, Pat McCormack, Eka Westerman, who's fighting Josh Taylor. You've also got Conor Benn there as well. So yeah, there's a lot there for Harlem Eubank, and there's a lot of potential for some big fights coming up. And winning this gave him a version, I believe. I think it was the Intercontinental version, IBF. Yeah, I think it was the IBF title. So yeah, it gives him a ranking now in terms of the IBF, but it also will shine a light in terms of future opponents, because people will be like, you know what, he looks half decent. He could potentially give me a good fight, or he could be a good dance partner for an actual fight. And there will be big names, and some of those names that I have called out in terms of the British scene, especially the world scene, will look and be like, you know what, let's get him now. You know what I mean? Because if he continues to perform how he did on the weekend, he's going to get better. So rather than fighting when he's much better than what he is, fight him now, catch him early, sort of thing. But yeah, that's just my thoughts in terms of the fight. I thought personally he was a lot quicker, a lot sharper. His movement was far dominant. He used his jab really well. He was picking his shots, and he dropped McKenna numerous of times. And at no point during that fight that he looked phased. He didn't look as if he was going to get caught with anything big, and he just looked as if he was enjoying himself in there. And that's what I like to see in terms of a fighter. And as I mentioned earlier, the weight seems like it's helped, because he seems really good at this weight sort of thing. Because when I watched him at super lightweight. Sorry, he just looked a little bit drained and little bit lethargic. Looked as if he couldn't give us everything in the ring, but in this performance he did. But these are just my thoughts. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you watch the fight on the weekend between Harlem Eubank and Tyrone McKenna? And what did you think of Harlem's performance? What did you think of Tyrone McKenna's performance? What next for both men? For me personally, I'd like Harlem Eubank to continue developing, to maybe have a few more British domestic clashes, because that's going to put him steps forward in terms of any other contenders, sorry, in terms of Britain. But for Tyrone McKenna, I think that will probably be it. He still will have something to offer other fighters. And to be fair, he probably still want to get paid as well. So there is still fights out there for him, but I'm not sure if it's something that I'd like him to potentially consider. When you look at his box rec, all the big names that he's took on, he's lost. So what are you fighting for? You fighting for money? You fighting for legacy? You fighting to try and become a world champion? What is it that you're fighting for? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. And I'm quite sure that he would have made some decent dough from the fights that he's been in so far. So let's wait and see. But yeah, very good performance from Harlem Eubank, and I can't wait to see his next performance. As always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.